Okay.
Yep.
Kim and Rennie, they have researched 150 various theories and concepts over a period of 100 years, spread across 30 different industries, and they have taken the extract of all those theories. And what they have been able to do is, they have been able to identify not just a strategy by which you can overcome any sort of a situation and move out of a red ocean. What does red ocean simply signify? In life, it signifies challenges, overwhelming challenges, and in business, it signifies congested market space. Whichever way it is, you can easily overcome it if you use the blue ocean strategy. What is the difference between a red ocean and blue ocean? Not just that it is congested. The other thing it signifies is that there are various hurdles in red ocean. Kim and Rennie have been able to identify multiple strategies to overcome these hurdles. Can any one of you tell me what are the different types of hurdles which are there?
In red ocean, there is commoditization, number one.
Commoditization is the reason for the red ocean.
Lot of competition is there.
That is there. That is not a hurdle.
So what is the question then?
What are the hurdles which are present
in red ocean?
In any sort of an implementation process, in any sort of an activity.
Resistance, sir.
Any sort of an activity.
Resistance.
Yeah, hurdles.
So,
but what
condition mindset.
What is it called?
So, we are habitual of doing something, we don't want to change.
What is it called?
What John?
It is called
More adaptability.
It's called
resistance also, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, cognitive hurdle, resource hurdle, motivational hurdle, political hurdle.
Yes.
Mindset.
There are
That is
four
cognizant.
types of hurdles.
Yes.
Hurdle,
Cognizant, resource hurdle,
motivational hurdle, political hurdle.
and political.
Okay. Now, Kim and Rennie have given very clear-cut frameworks for how to overcome these hurdles. Then after that, one of the largest studies which have been done by multiple experts has been into how to implement a strategy. There are major research works starting from McKinsey's to ADCA. They have discussed the problems of implementation, because you see, strategy anyone can create. Implementation is the problem. There are 6 key points which Blue Ocean strategy has extracted from all these to create a framework which is embedded into Blue Ocean strategy, by which strategy implementation gets embedded into the strategy. We will see that next. So you see, now all these things, it will be very, very difficult for you to remember in your mind and apply it when the time comes. It will be impossible, I can tell you this much. So the best thing is, once the class is over, whether it is 10 o'clock in the night or 11 o'clock in the night or 12 o'clock in the night, sit down for 15-20 minutes. Note down the points on a paper. Then within a day or two, I will be posting the recording to you. Sit down with that recording, review it, and create a template. Keep that with you in a file.
Yeah.
Keep that with you in a file so that, whenever you want, you can refer to it and you can use it. What will happen is, over a period of 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, this will get ingrained into you. Let me ask you a simple question. How many of you drive a car? All of you?
All of us.
Excellent.
Yes.
The first day you drove a car?
Yep.
Huh? Do you remember how you felt?
Yes.
you sat down in the car for the first time?
Yes.
How did you feel? Very happy, very comfortable, very confident.
Very tense, shivering.
You have to handle the clutch, you have to handle the brake, you have to handle the gear, you have to handle the steering wheel, you have to handle the rear view mirror, you have to handle the side view mirror, you have to handle the speed, you have to
Yeah.
check people who are going around, you have to check the signal light. You must have thought it is impossible. Did you not think? Hey, you sit down, you don't even realize you have started the car, you drive to the office, complete your work, and in this traffic, drive back. Fortunately, reach home in half an hour. If it is raining, half a day. And you don't even remember that you drove. Similarly, once you practice this, believe me, strategy will become second nature. It will become, but you will have to take the effort. Just coming, attending class, and then, checking whether the recording has come or not, and not going back to the recording at all. Thank you, guys. You are making me a happy man, but you are not going to become happy. This much I can tell you. Because why I am asking this is because whenever I ask, I find one thing, one answer. Sir, we are trying. What is this trying? Have any one of you got a pen in front of you on the table? Have you got? Okay. Keep it down, Mr. Now try picking it up, Mr. Nageshwara. Try. I said try. I did not say pick it up. I said try. I said try, Mr. Nageshwara Kumar. I did not say pick it up. I only said try. There is nothing called trying. Either you do or you don't. Simple. See, this trying is, there is this share of Ghalib. Ghalib was a womanizer, a drunkard, a debauch. You all heard of Ghalib, isn't it? That famous Shair. So one of his friends went and asked him, Ghalib, why are you like this? He said, yeah, life, enjoying it. He said, but bloody hell, you'll go to hell. He said, Acha, if I don't do any of these things here, what will happen? He says, you'll go to heaven. And then what will happen in heaven? He says, you will enjoy life there. You know what Ghalib said? He said, हमें मालूम है जन्नत की हकीकत लेकिन दिल बहलाने को गालिब ये ख्याल भी अच्छा है. That means I will leave the earth where I can enjoy everything in the hope of enjoying something in heaven. Similarly, my dear friends, practice, create templates. I'll help you in creating if you want, but start implementing it so that, if you do something different, something will come out. Like Einstein said, doing the same thing and expecting different result is a sure short sign of insanity. Doing the same things, the results will only be the same. It will never be different. With this, let's move to today's session. So what is this blue ocean strategy, the sixth path looking across time trends? It's based on the philosophy that you don't plant a tree for today's shade. If you plant a tree today, will you get the shade today? No, you plant it for tomorrow's season. And the best example of it is Tesla. Tesla was not the first electric car, and this electric car mobility existed over a century before Tesla's Roadster came out in 2008. The earliest prototype of a electric car, was in 1830. And in 1888, Flocken Electrowagon appeared, that is in the late 19th century. Tesla's contribution was significant in commercializing electric vehicles, particularly the Roadster, by the use of lithium-ion batteries and its impressive range, which helped kickstart a modern electrical mobility revolution by demonstrating practicality and performance to a wider audience. In other words, Tesla capitalized on a particular trend which had started. We will see what those trends were and how, by using the process table, they could identify what will be the car of the future. First, let us understand the process table. How do we go about identifying the future trends? Number one, scan macro factors. What trends are affecting your industry? Be it consulting, manufacturing, marketing, or whatever it is. What trends are affecting the industry? I'll give a very simple example. Today, the pharma industry has been hit very severely. We have got at least two pharma people, Mr. Venkatesh and Mr. Gopal Rao. I'm sure they must be facing hell in trying to, sustain, create and sustain growth. But do you realize more than 25 years, 30 years back, already an indication had come of what was going to happen? Can either Gopal Rao or Mr. Venkatesh tell me what had happened, which had told very clearly how things are going to change in the pharma industry?
So, like in pharma today, it's a multi-dimensional effect happens across all level, like at customer level, at a distributor level, and even at employee level, even regulation. Everything has made pharma marketing sales very difficult.
That means you are not keeping a eyes open. This one sentence tells me that you are like that bull which has been yoked to a stake and you are going round and round on the same spot. What exactly is the problem? Where did it begin?
Like number of companies has increased, number of companies has increased, and local companies has increased.
What do you mean by local company?
Like propaganda PG companies are there.
Highly restricted, geographically restricted area companies, right?
Yeah.
You are in force, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
What was force when Rajgopal started it?
Same, sir.
Every company, every child is born as a one-day-old child. It doesn't grow, it is not born as a 50-year-old CEO. No. So you see, all these are, I told you now, the machinations of the brain. It tells you things which are not true. The first sign of coming problem, the trend was what? When liberalization of Indian companies started and some companies like Torrent, Cipla, Cadila, Alchem, Aristo, they started inducing doctors. Then came a major shakeup when Cipla's strike happened and Cipla went on to direct marketing, bypassing the field force. That means these were all trends which were telling that the field force is now becoming an unnecessary expenditure. Let us cut through the chain of buyers. You see, this is what chain of buyer concept of blue ocean strategy is. Where, you turn the pyramid upside down because the user, the influencer, and the purchaser, they change place. At a time when doctor was an influencer, suddenly what Cipla did? They made him the user. Directly started contacting. Directly started using their capability to influence. So the influencer also became the user. Then they went one step ahead. Today, what has happened? The influencer and the user have also become the purchaser. You see, at this stage, you need to have a clear understanding of what sort of a future trend is going to be there. If you are unable to identify the future trend, you will not be able to handle what is going to come. So identify and scan the macro trends. Then filter the relevance. Test 3 criteria. What is irreversible? Many trends are irreversible, but you'll have to select the irreversible trend. Second thing is, what is directional? In which direction is it moving? And how relevant is it to our industry? To what we are doing, what our requirement is, how relevant is it? The third is analyze the impact. What is the impact of it? Examine across the value chain. How will it change customer behavior or operations? When we talk about impact, please remember one thing, the impact is not for you, it is for the customer. How will it change customer behavior? Just imagine when Cipla started directly contacting the doctor, sending samples to him, sending gifts to him, how did it change the impact of the doctor? Can you tell me, Mr. Gopal Rao?
Yeah, I have only heard that, sir, that Cipla has, stopped all the field
Impact.
forces.
Whether you have experienced it or not, but how
Yeah.
will it impact?
But what I like know that that strategy was failed. So ultimately, again,
Mr. Gopal Rao, don't stand judgment on something which was a super duper success.
no, they
Yes,
have actually
let
removed
us
all the
forget that argument. You tell me how it changed that attitude of the doctor.
doctor and become end user. They have started using directly
What
buying
happened
the.
was when there was a middleman in between the representative and the manager, there
Sir,
was a lack of transparency and there was a opacity in the operations. When the company directly started dealing with the doctor, they realized suddenly that this middleman is not required. I can talk directly to the main person. So you see, this totally changed the behavior. Then what happened? After that, doctor started directly asking, let me talk to your top man. Before
Sir,
that,
shall I?
yes,
Sir, Venkatesh.
yes, Venkatesh.
Yes, sir. Since you asked this issue about Cipla, sir, actually this happened between 95 to 2000, I think so. So I was associated with the union. I mean, TNMSRA or FMRA that time. So people used to call us to accompany them for a protest against Cipla with the doctors in GH or wherever the more number of doctors are available. So many doctors now used to tell, you have a right to promote only your company or your products. Why should you tell against Cipla? You don't have any rights to talk about other company. You do your job. Whether Cipla promotes through courier or through gifts, or that is immaterial for you. That was the comments, were given by doctors that time.
You are right, Mr. Sangesh. Now, what we need to understand is why did it happen? Because suddenly they realized there's this group of people called medical representatives and managers were becoming redundant. And they found, you see, human beings will always gravitate towards where they find better options. It redefined the status. And that is what it became the future trend. Today, you see, medical representatives and company frontline managers are finding it very difficult because companies now, doctors want directly to deal with the top man. And this
You
was
are
a
right.
trend which began at that time. It was one of the triggers. You are right, Mr. Venkatesh. You are absolutely right in your observation.
Yes.
Now, so what we need to understand is analyze the impact, examine across the value chain, how it will change customer behavior and operations. When you realize how it will impact, you also then come to the next point. you spot pain points and gaps. Because how it will impact, the pain point is where it will impact. All along, you see, a MD doctor was dependent upon a BCom representative to tell him what the pharma company was doing. That was a pain point for him. Suddenly, that pain point was removed when the company directly addressed him. And this is where the unmet demand was emerging. Can I request everyone to kindly unmute their audio, please? Background noise is coming. Then you do the one thing that you should do at this stage is reframe your offering. New value curve. How can we use this trend to stand out? Identify the strength. Check whether it is reversible, in which direction it is going. How is it relevant to us? Try to find out how the trend is impacting the customer behavior and operations. Identify the gaps in it, the pain points for the customer, then reframe with a new value curve wherein you address that pain point working with the new trend. Future-proof your model, bring about a strategic alignment. Can we lead this change, not just adapt to it? This is the process table. First, scan the factors, the trends. Number two, check whether it is irreversible, in what direction it is going, and whether it is relevant to your industry. Number three, find out how this trend is going to impact the behavior of the customer and your operations. Number four, what are the pain points it is addressing? Because these pain points might not have surfaced earlier. Number five, work on those pain points and create a new value curve. And number six, see if you can lead the change rather than follow. Why? Leading the change is creating a blue ocean. Following a trend is following it into a red ocean. So let us see now the step-by-step process in a slightly more elaborate manner. Identify key trends impacting your industry. Look for macro trends across technology, regulations, lifestyle, society, demographics, environment, economy. All these factors you can look across, because these are where the major trends are going to occur. Number two, filter the trends using three criteria. Irreversible. Is this trend here to stay, or is it just a fad? Sometimes, trends are just a fad. They go away after some time. Then clear the trajectory. What is the trajectory? Can we predict how this trend is going to evolve? What is going to happen? The third is it relevant to our industry? Will it significantly impact how customers behave or how businesses operate? This is the second point. The third is analyze the impact of the trend on your value chain. Ask, how will this trend affect what customers want? Will customers want change? How will it affect how we deliver value? With the introduction of Skype, the way companies delivering value started changing. And it became permanent with COVID. Earlier, you had to book a big conference hall, bring people together, do training, conferences and everything. Today, even countries conduct meetings over Zoom, Team, and various other platforms. Why? This is a huge economic saving. It's a huge time saving and very convenient. People don't have to move from one place to another and waste time, effort, and energy. All these things have changed. Will it disrupt cost structure, processes, or partnerships? When you answer these questions, you understand what are the impact that this is going to have what impact this trend is going to have. Then spot the pain points. Which customer pain points will be amplified by this trend? Which will surface? Remote work created pain points like isolation, bad posture, productivity dips. And what are the opportunities? Opportunities were for virtual co-working platforms, ergonomic products, and wellness apps. So you see, everything comes with advantages and disadvantages. Are you in a position to take advantage of it? One company which was tremendously impacted by this was Nike. Can you tell me what happened with Nike during the COVID period? Nike used to sell mainly through their retail outlets worldwide. More than 90% of the sales was through retail outlet. Suddenly, when the COVID hit, all the retail outlets were shut. Everyone thought Nike will collapse, but you know what Nike did? It immediately went into a health challenge. They started what is called a 21-day health challenge, where they said every day we will teach you new ways of keeping yourself active at home so that your health will be maintained. And simultaneously, they started promoting their products online in a big way. You know what are the total impact of the drop in sales of Nike during COVID period? Just 3%. Can you beat it for a company which had 90% retail showroom sales? The drop was just 3%. All that they did was they had a few fitness trainers, created videos and put it, and when they were exercising, they were wearing Nike apparels and Nike shoes. They did not say use Nike. Then they went online and promoted Nike in a big way. They started receiving online orders, they started supplying, and today over 60% of Nike sales is online. From 90% retail to over 60% online. After that, they opened the shops, but the online sales did not go down. They capitalized on that trend. Reframe your strategy offering. Can you create a new value curve that rides the trend? Can you lead the shift rather than follow? Then finally, build a future proof. Use the trend as a launch pad to enter new markets, serve overlooked customer segments, redefine your industry logic. Now we come to, you can take a screenshot of this because this will help you in solving the problem, the case study that you're going to have now. The case study, the Verma family in Hyderabad has 2 children, Divya, 15 and Arjun, 11. During the pandemic, the kids adapted to study from home. Once school reopened, the family gradually returned to their pre-COVID routines. But over time, Divya began falling behind in her studies and seemed increasingly distracted. Arjun too struggled with focus. Their dining table, which served as a temporary online learning station, was once again filled with newspaper, snacks, and clutter. Ritu Verma, the mother, realized the kids didn't have a dedicated, inspiring study environment anymore. And with increasing screen-based learning, online research, and project-based work, the old setup wasn't working. Please take a screenshot of this.
Sir, can we see one before we have taken this?
Somebody must have taken, bhai.
Okay. Okay.
Have you taken the screenshot? Yeah. Answer.
Both we took, sir. Both.
I am going to divide you into two groups. There are 12 people here, excluding me. I'm going to divide you two groups. I will give you 15 minutes. Try to find out the answer based upon the table that I have shown you. Please move towards your rooms. Yes, rooms have been opened. You can move. Please move fast so that we don't waste time. pain. What new needs and desires will emerge?
Oh,
Okay.
the pain points. Lack of desire, pain point.
First, room number 1. Is room number 1 ready for presentation?
Yes, sir, presenting, sir.
Yeah.
Can I share the screen, sir?
Yeah, just a minute. Yes.
Oh, screen visible. I think the identify the trends, the process table is the technology, the lifestyle, the work environment. Then the filter for relevance, the digital technology, the lifestyle will remain the same. While analyzing the impact, no cost structure change, the process to be changed, the studying structure will be altered. Spot the pain points, the mother felt the child not attentive, the child felt the work environment not good. Reframe your strategy, give a proper room with ambience. I think the team members can add to this. Some, sir. Hello.
We could reach only to this point.
Anything to be added? Please add.
No, sir, that's all we have discussed, sir. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Last
Okay.
point were not.
Room number 2.
Sharing.
Yes, sir. I will be presenting like, just point to point, if you analyze this case study, this the distraction point are like, just the key trends like the key trends were like, the
Mindset
Dia,
change. Yeah, please
Dia's,
carry on.
yeah, Dia's distraction, and even Arjun is also struggling with the focus part, and even the complementary problems are like mind setup because of the education has shifted from offline to online again to on offline. So even that dining table became a clutter. So all these are the key areas, key issues which was found in the study, and filtering the trend using the criteria. If you see, this trend would be reversible as per the COVID time, and the clear trajectories was this online classes and has affected the kids, because they were not used to this. So mindset up, everything, motivation and isolation, everything played a role. So that kind of focus was lost and distractions were there because nobody was there to monitor and observe them. So loneliness, everything is affected that. So these are the things to design a strategy for them to bring them into back to focus and for a better education was like, they can have a different room setup where the room can be designed as per the online setup, because now the things have changed. Now everything has become online, so the dedicated setup can be designed, and some even the kids can be involved in designing the room, so that the ownership can come with both kids also, and they can find out their own needs, and accordingly the parents can design as per their. So that brings the motivation and involvement and engagement in the designing and making the part of that strategy. So the family together can sit and design everything, and they can plan it, so that they can own up the plan also. And a small library can be there. If the distraction goes for other things, they can come and reading books. You can cultivate a reading habit to them, and slowly, parents can also monitor the effect of that design and all, and accordingly they can require the changes can be changed. That is what the strategy we can implement. I request
Good.
my team to add anything if I missed.
That's fine. That's good.
There is this Hindi saying, Chirag tale andhera. How many of you have heard of this?
We have all heard.
Harder.
Everybody.
There is a saying, the same saying is said, that it is darkest place is just below the lamp.
Yes.
We are living in this world and we are not aware of the trends which are there. And what sort of contradiction is that? On one side we say everything has gone online, on the other side we talk of creating a library so that if we get bored of online, we go and read a book. Usually it is the reverse, isn't it? See, this is what we need to be very careful about. We need to keep our eyes and ears open as to what the trends are. And the trends are all there because we are all a victim of the trend. Where do you spend the maximum time today? There is a new word which has come up. What is that word? It's called the WhatsApp University. What does it indicate? It indicates that you learn from digital sources. Even as such a useless thing as a WhatsApp has become a digital source of information. Correct?
Correct.
The second thing, what does it say? What does it really mean? What is the underlying current in it? The underlying current is that you want to learn at your own speed and pace. You don't want to be dictated. Are these not trends?
Yes,
Don't
sir.
you need to align yourself with these trends if you want to move forward? What is the third thing? We are talking, the entire focus went on to the dining table being cluttered with newspaper, food and everything. Why did that happen?
Because it was not being used anymore.
Correct. The purpose for it, which was there at that time, that purpose was over. And when you go back, they say there is this great saying, don't look to the past. You are not going that way anymore. Water which has flown under the bridge is not going to flow back in your direction again. It is gone. Now let's see what are the trends and how we should study them. Most of you are right. It's not that you are wrong. Only thing is slight tweaking is necessary. And that is where, I said that creating a template and then working through them over a period of time will help you tremendously. There are three key trends. What are the first one? Even regular school assignments now involve YouTube, online research, and Google Classroom. Students will, you see, What is the difference between extrinsic learning and intrinsic learning?
Intrinsic is self. Intrinsic is self motivated self learning. Extrinsic is influenced by external forces.
A teacher stands at the head of the class, gives a lecture. In the name of knowledge, she imparts information. In the name of learning, you commit it to memory. Then at regular intervals, prescribed intervals, she asks you questions on the information she has given you. You regurgitate like a cow chewing a cud, whatever she has told you, and you put it on pen and paper, and you are adjudged based upon how much of your vomit tallies with what she has fed you. And you are declared a champion. This is extrinsic learning. Intrinsic learning is where the teacher points a general direction, gives hints and nudges you, you go find out. What is the biggest difference between these two? The difference is 0 to 5 and 5 to 100. What did I mean by that?
The difference between knowing and doing, like just knowing through lectures and trying to practically learn by experiencing it or doing it.
Then why did I call this 0 to 5 and 5 to 100? There must be some reason.
Yes, sir. The extrinsic learning has only impact of 0 to 5, whereas intrinsic has the learning of 5 to 100.
Oh, sir, the intrinsic learning is 0 to 5. Which college did you go to in the age of 0 to 5 where more than 90% of everything you are ever going to use in your life you have learned? Which college did you go to, Jayeshji? Which college did any of us go to between the age of 0 and 5? Between the age of 0 and 5, we learned by observing, by trying, by getting hit, falling. Everything that we learned, our brain has developed 85 to 90% within the age of 0 to 5. All the knowledge that we are going to use, which are relevant, we have learned already by the age of 5. Everything else which we have learned through extrinsic knowledge is between the age of 5 to 100.
Right.
And you see, this trend of going and searching for knowledge and learning is the best way of learning because you will never forget it. When you struggle, that's why I say, try to answer the questions in the group. Because what will you do? You will go to Google, find it. You will go to ChatGPT, find it. You will go anywhere under the sun and you will find it. Then what will you do? You will at least read it now once. Some doubt will come. Again, you will, ChatGPT it or Google it or go to a book or go to a library. Somewhere ask someone. That is how the learning which will happen will be permanent. I type something, you read it, 101%, you don't read it, I know. Still, even if by mistake you read 2 sentences, not even one letter will be written. Then you can ask them, why do you type so much? That is because I learn. I'm more interested in myself. Please understand that. The second is, see, digital learning, integration. Even regular schools today are digital. Second thing is, increasing anxiety, attention problems among teens due to screen overload and overstimulation. This is a very, 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 very serious issue today. You pick up, you see any child, any family. What is their biggest challenge? What is the biggest challenge?
Getting the kids' attention to focus upon something.
Something other than
Screen.
mobile. Ask any, newly, happened parents, they will tell you. Children don't eat without seeing the mobile. They don't eat. You can't make them eat. They will not eat. And parents also are so disgusted They have purchased a separate big screen mobile only for them so that, they can go about their work. In many places, restaurants you go, you will see the child is watching the phone while the parents are happily enjoying a party. They know otherwise they can't enjoy it. Digital overload, tension, mental illness, this is another very big trend which is there. That means what? Attention span is reducing tremendously. The third is hybrid learning. Parents are enrolling kids into all, both, online, offline courses. Learning is not just from textbooks anymore. And in fact, today a situation has come when degrees and diplomas and certificates have lost their meaning. What has become important is skill. So what is the transformation you can do? Number one, adjustable desks and ergonomic chairs. Because you see, most of the time, the child is going to be spending its time on the computer. Then, smart LED lighting that adapts to time of the day. You require regular lighting so that it will adapt to the time of the day and provide the child with the, best sort of a lighting for its environment. Third, shelves for creative material, art, do-it-yourself kits, all these things so that, you can for some time at least take the child out from the digital world that it is immersing itself in. Create it, and allow the child to decide where it wants to spend the time. Fourth, softboard for planning and goal tracking. Introduce him. What is the softboard? Softboard is a type of a dashboard. Introduce him to dashboard so that, he can start planning and creating goals for himself and chasing it. That will give him a sense of ownership and an objective to target. Then, a single screen for guided learning, no multitasking. Multitasking will further reduce the attention span, and today multitasking is a very dangerous thing which is happening. One of the biggest challenges the schools faced during the COVID period was, what was it? Can anyone of you tell me? The screen is blocked. The child is supposed to be behind the screen. It will answer you. You can't see the child. And the child is doing something else. This was the biggest problem. That means what? Multitasking. Because the school is conducting classes online, many companies like Glaxo, Hindustan Lever, Hext, Pfizer, they used to have everyday meetings. And one of the compulsory thing was that the screen should be on. They should be able to see the employee behind the screen. In fact, you won't believe it, Glaxo Medical Representatives Union, they went to court against it. Can you beat it? They went to court saying that you can't force us to keep the screen open. Very simple. You get up, switch on the screen. You log in, the screen is off. You go have your bath, brush your teeth, attend your morning ablutions. Who cares, I say? Some idiot somewhere is keeping on, yap. Is it necessary for you to listen? That is an attendance. Correct or not, Mr. Hanumantrao? You see, this is the reality of the trends which are now there. This is how serious, and they lose their job, then they will complain management is insensitive. What is the word? Insensitive. Because they are not ready to take your bullshit, they become insensitive. You have ruined your life, your family's life, that is okay. Only because you could not get up in time, get ready, come and sit in front of the screen and do your job correctly, that is okay if you don't do that. This is the trend. Then finally, plants and calming visuals for emotional balance, a tech-free card and bean bags for unwinding. This is something, you know, based upon the 6 things which we have seen. Based upon the 6 things. It did not be like this. You can have various permutation combinations of this. Okay. But when you do this, the chances of your child having the freedom to decide when to study, how to study, what to study becomes better, and they become more, you know, in line with what is the requirement. Lessons learned from the case study: trend blindness, future-oriented thinking, trend integration, blue ocean insight, broader message. What is the trend blindness? Trying to go back. The family had reverted to old routines, keeping the geography the same, the dining table. They were trying to go back to the old routine. It will not work. As I said, don't look back. You're not going that way again. What has happened in the past is gone, done and dusted. The sooner you move forward, the better it is. There's a Japanese saying, I don't know how many of you have heard it. It says, if you suddenly realize that you got a wrong train, get down at the first station, because the longer you are in the train deciding what to do, the further away you are going to go from your destination. What is gone is gone. You're not going back again in that direction. That trend is over. The new trend has come. Now, take charge of it immediately. Find a solution for it. Number 2, future-oriented thinking. Instead of solving the short-term problems, lack of study focus, Ritu looked at how external trends in education, technology, and wellness were evolving. She tried to answer all the 3 in terms of technology, in terms of education, in terms of wellness. She wanted all the 3. She integrated all the 3 into the education system. She combined tech savviness with emotional intelligence and physical space design, aligning with future patterns of learning. By doing this, what she did, she brought her child closer to how education is going to be in the future. When the child becomes integrated at this young age, at the age of 15 and 11, which is what Divya and Arjun have, what would happen to them when they go to the college? They would have grown up in this atmosphere, so learning would be much easier for them. What is the blue ocean insight? By acting on irreversible trends before others, Ritu created a personal blue ocean of improved learning, peace, and future readiness at home. She created a future readiness because that is the future. Children are technologically savvy, whether you like it or not. But that's what they are. Today, people think more of happiness than work norms. The world is talking about work-life balance. So we have to get them future ready. The broader message is significant decisions at home or in business come not just from solving today's problem, but designing for tomorrow's reality. As I said right in the beginning, you don't plant a tree for today, you plant it for tomorrow's season. When you plant a tree today, it's not going to give you anything. It is only going to give you a shade or a fruit 10, 20, 30 years down the line. So what is the process table for the case study? Identify trends, scan macro factors, what trends are affecting my industry, rise of digital, hybrid learning, growing awareness of mental wellness in teens, demand for skill-based learning. Number 2, filter for relevance, test the 3 criteria: irreversible, direction, and relevant. Digital education is here to stay. More screen-based tools and hybrid formats are coming. Affects her child's future. Number 3, analyze impact. Kids no longer study only from textbooks. They research, collaborate online, and need restful creative environment. Old dining table setups no longer support their new behavior. Spot opportunities, pain points, lack of personalized, self-integrated, emotionally supportive study environment at home is a big drawback, especially as learning becomes more self-driven and screen intensive. Learning has become screen intensive. There is nothing you can do about it. We can complain, child psychologists can complain as much as they want about screen time, but that is a reality here to stay. It is like telling don't breathe because the air outside is polluted. Nothing can be done. The air is polluted. Nothing can be done. You have to breathe still. Reframe the offering. Created a blended learning space with tech wellness, creativity, and structure. And finally, future-proof the model. The family proactively designed for future of education, giving the children an edge in learning, digital discipline, and emotional health. Add the curve. Imagine when they were talking about digital discipline, they were talking about handing the power to the child. They were not trying to restrict the digital availability. They were handing the power to the child and allowing it to decide when it wants to study, when it wants to relax, what it wants to serve, what it doesn't want to get involved in. Now let us take this as it is to Tesla and see the process table for Tesla electric vehicle. Number 1, Tesla identified 3 key trends: rising global concern about climate change and environmental sustainability. Number 2, shift away from fossil fuel towards renewable energy. Number 3, increasing digitization, integration of AI in mobility, autonomous driving, connected cars. I'm sure you all know that updates and maintenance support comes online to a Tesla car owner. Filter the trends using the 3 criteria. Irreversible. The push for reducing carbon emission is global and regulatory backed. Carbon emission has to be reduced. That means fossil fuel is not what you are going towards. Directional, government and industries are moving towards EV adoption and renewable grids. Renewable energy is there to stay. Relevant, transportation is a major contributor to emission, directly impacting the auto industry's future. Tesla capitalized on all these. Analyze the impact of the trend on your value chain. Consumers will no longer choose cars purely for horsepower and fuel economy. Instead, they seek sustainability. They seek sustainability, eco-consciousness, cutting-edge tech, lower lifetime running cost, no fuel, less maintenance. Spot the pain points: lack of stylish, high-performance EV. Most early EVs were small, boring, or impractical. Consumer distrust in EV: range and charging infrastructure. Charging infrastructures were not there. The EV range was not, strong enough for the consumer to develop a trust. The desire for cars that feel futuristic cannot compromise. I'm sure you all remember the first EV car which came, it looks like something made out of a tin or a cardboard box. It was so ugly to look at that people would have preferred hanging themselves than seen driving it. But what did Tesla do? It came out with such a futuristic design that it became a status symbol. Reframe your strategy or offering around the trend. Tesla reframed cars from being machines powered by fuel to being smart, sustainable, software-driven platforms. What are the functional benefit they offered, value they offered? Long-range EV battery, supercharger network, software updates, over-the-air software updates. What are the emotional value they offered? Driving the future, being part of a sustainability revolution, owning a status symbol of innovation. Position Tesla not just as another car, but as a movement. Finally, build a future-proof business model. Tesla integrated the future of energy and mobility, expanded into solar roofs, Powerwall and energy storage, continuous software innovation, autonomous driving, AI integration, built a loyal community of early adopters evangelizing the brand. Massive hit. Tesla became #1 worldwide, including China, where EV is a very, very big thing. Very economical. Still, Tesla is able to hold its ground at that cost. What are the mistakes you should not make when you are looking across time trends? There are a few mistakes you should be very careful you don't make. What are those? Number one, confusing short-term fads, mistaking fads for trends. Don't do that. Validate trends using historical data, expert consensus, and pattern recognition. Ask, has this trend been building for years? Is it gaining momentum across sectors? Avoid reacting to just intellectual noise and gossip. Number two, assuming, overgeneralizing or simplifying a trend, that's a mistake. Assuming the same trend will affect all industries and customer segments in the same way. It will not. All trends will not affect all segments in the same way. Analyze your specific customers and value chain and how it will be affected. Not all digital natives behave the same way, even in the same country. Number three, focus on too many trends at once. Don't do that. There might be many trends. Only look for those which are relevant to you. Select one or two key trends that are highly relevant and actionable for your business. Then ignoring the last mile of execution. One of the biggest success of the Modi government has been the last mile delivery. If you remember what Rajiv Gandhi said, he said that when I send 1 rupee from here, only 15 paisa reaches the person for whom that 1 rupee is sent. That means what? 85 paisa is lost on the way. That government failed in last mile delivery. So you see, last mile is very, very important. Without that last mile delivery, it is not going to work for anyone. So ignoring the last mile of execution is the biggest mistake. Spotting a trend but failing to align it with business capabilities or execution models. Ask yourself, do we have the capabilities, partnership, or readiness to ride the trend? Just, being enamored with the trend and trying to do something with it will not work. Then what is the next one? Don't run after a trend without watching the customer insight. Spotting trends in isolation from customer pain points, real needs, that will not work. Ask, how will this trend change what our customer expects, values, or struggles with? Try to find an answer to that. Just targeting trends with old offerings is not okay. That means following trends without a clear strategic fit, chasing trends because competitors are also doing it. That will be a mistake. Don't do that. Ask, does this trend align with our long-term vision and strength? And finally, overestimating how quickly markets will adopt to a trend. Don't do that. It takes time. It takes time, so you have to be cautious. As the saying goes, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Be very careful in what you're going to do. Think twice before doing it. Align it with customer requirements, the pain points. There is time, there is no hurry. If you could wait so long, you can wait another month more, plan it out correctly, do the due diligence, and then take a step. Best practices to stay connected, conscious, and grounded. What are the best practices? Number one, use scenario planning. Prepare for different future pathways of the trend. A trend could have different pathways. Plan for all of them. Check which is the most appropriate. Number two, conduct pilot experiment. Test how real customers react before scaling. This comes from co-creation of design thinking. Drag your customer into the process of creating the benefits that he wants. You know, the best thing is, if you want to make a dog biscuit, ask the dog what biscuit it wants. Your taste varies from, it could definitely vary from that of the dog. So, test how real customers react before scaling. Blend quantitative and qualitative data. Don't just go by quantitative data or don't just go by qualitative data. Quantitative data can overwhelm and qualitative data can be marked by your biases. Avoid being misled by anecdotes or surface trends. Just because someone said something, don't run after it. Stay humble and iterative. Don't think you know the best. Allow course correction as the trend evolves. The trend will evolve. As it evolves, you should be ready to iterate. Cross-functional alignment. Ensure the trend is integrated across product, marketing, operations, not just siloed. It should not be put into one basket and sealed. It should be looked at from the angle of implementation through the different departments. How does the trend affect product, marketing, operations, and then create the alignment? The most beautiful thing is, as I was telling you, that each of these 6 parts have been taken from different concepts and philosophies and theories of management. Kim and Rennie researched 150 different concepts and theories, which have evolved over a period of 100 years, starting from Taylor's Principles of Management from 1911 to the current. And they tested it across 30 different industries, not just one or two, 30 different industry segments, how it has worked. And then they took the key insights from all these and created these 6 paths. Each one is a killer path in itself. And if you can master just one of these paths, you will be able to create a blue ocean for yourself. And what is the path, the concept and strategy from which this part of the 6th path across time trend has been created is design thinking. Because design thinking is the strategy, is the concept for working with the uncertain, and future is uncertain. What are the key characteristics taken from design thinking? The most important characteristic taken from design thinking is empathy and define. Identify not just current pains, but emerging and latent needs. This is what design thinking says in empathize and define. Don't just identify from the current pains of the customer. Try to understand how this pain is going to evolve in the future and what are the latent needs which even the customer is not aware of today. For instance, Ford summed it up beautifully when he said, what would happen if I went and asked my customer what he wants? He will say, I want a faster horse, because at that time, horse-driven buggies were the trend. But what happened? He gave them an automobile, and that changed the history of US. So empathize and define has been taken from design thinking. And the other side, what it has taken from design thinking is ideate and prototype, build for tomorrow's behavior, not just for today. When you are building for tomorrow's behavior, you are ensuring that not only is your today taken care of, your tomorrow is also assured. Ask what trends are irreversible, direction, and relevant to value. Instead of reacting, companies anticipate and ride these trends to create new markets. For example, with iPods and iTunes, Apple wrote the irreversible trend of digital music consumption. Now, friends, the most important thing we will be discussing. Be totally focused for the next 15 minutes, and I'm telling you, you will not regret it in your entire life. The future of carriers. We are at that crossroad where people are absolutely scared out of their wits. Robotics and artificial intelligence. Am I wrong in assuming it?
No, sir.
But I can tell you one thing, robotics and artificial intelligence is going to accord you an opportunity like nobody else. Absolutely nobody else. If you can just integrate what I'm telling in the next 15 minutes, and I will give you also the checklist for it, that also I will be giving to all the people. You will be far ahead of all the people, your peers, subordinates, and superiors. This is a guarantee I'm giving you. You can just write it and keep it with you. So let's see. What are the irreversible trends in work and careers? Can you tell me? You're all in the midst of it. I am a retired man. Suri sir is a retired person. So, or, Goswami sir or Mathur sir. We can be forgiven if we say we don't know. But you can't be forgiven if you say you don't know what are the trends which are affecting you. Tell me.
Use of artificial intelligence.
Artificial
Yeah.
intelligence, done. 100 out of 100 for 2.
And managers should be very skilled to the latest work culture.
Correct. Degrees and certificates don't matter. Today, skill has become important. Very good. Move.
Stop thinking and depending on chat GPT and then for quick solutions.
Okay.
We
Let's
should be. We should
Ah.
not react, and we should respond nowadays. Short temper is more.
Okay, let's see. The first and foremost, most important thing, as all of you know, is automation and AI. Routine tasks are being eaten by algorithms. Algorithm is not eating routine tasks. Automation and AI is going to play a huge role in the coming days. It's already started taking very severe dent. Number 2, very important type of work, trend, which is having a very telling effect because just think about it, how drastically it has changed how man works. Hybrid and remote work, flexibility is no longer a perk. This is an expectation. It is an expectation today. People expect to be allowed to work from home. Earlier, it was a perks which the manager had in his armament to selectively, reward someone. Okay, you work from home for today. Or a new mother, he used to say, okay, Fridays you can work from home. So the lady gets an opportunity to spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday with her infant. Today it is an expectation. The manager is nowhere in the scene. Why only Friday? She'll say, I will work for all the 5 days. You want outcome, take it and keep going. This is another one thing, hybrid and remote work. Flexibility is no longer a perk, it's an expectation. The third very dangerous thing which is happening is purpose-driven careers. Younger professionals are increasingly choosing meaning to money. And where is it visible? The gig economy, the self-employed people, the youngsters don't want to be employed under anybody. They want to decide things on their own. There's a huge shift in the gig economy. People are turning into freelancers and consultants by the drop of the hat. This is another major trend which is taking place. So the more you are going to be scared of losing your job, the more you are going to lose your job. Please understand one thing. A person who is working as an accountant, being paid X amount of money for keeping accounts, can be replaced by a freelancer who is a master's in accounting, who is willing to do the job by doing it remotely for 3 hours in a week at a fraction of the cost that you are going to cost. Am I right or wrong? Then what happens to you?
Yes.
Yes, you're right, sir.
Then what happens to you? You forget AI and automation. You are worrying about robotics. Here is a guy who says, in 3 hours, I will maintain the books for you for 1 week. Like Mr. Balakrishnan is there. He is having a company. He is having an accountant whom he is paying maybe 40, 50, 60,000 rupees a month. Some young postgraduate in accounting or with an intermediate in chartered accountancy comes to him and says, Are Balakrishnan sir, give me 15,000 rupees a month. Weekly, 3 hours I will work for you. I will maintain your books and everything perfectly. Where is 60,000 rupees? Where is 15,000 rupees? Where is PF, PSI, labor laws, maintaining a register and everything? And where is 15,000 rupees? The guy comes and gives everything. It goes and he knows that he has to do his job correctly, otherwise he's gone. And there are so many companies who are giving these service on a contractual basis. They have got multi number of people with them who do this. Now what happened? What happens to the job? Huh? So you are a great coder. ChatGPT is doing a better job of it. $21 a month. Huh? Is that what is that? The other day I was talking to one student. He was telling, sir, $21 a month, sir. Everything that I have, my office is asking me to do, the damn thing is doing and giving it to me. Done. Finished. Now that guy is doing moonlighting on 3 jobs, freelance, while his main job is being done by ChatGPT for $21 a month. How long will it take for the company to realize this? Then what happens? It will say, I will pay ChatGPT $21 and remove all the 4 product managers I have got here. Things are changing, my dear friends. Purpose-driven careers, younger professionals increasingly choose meaning for money. And then finally, lifelong learning. Degrees depreciate. Skills are the new currency. If you are not skilled, your degree is going to be of no use. Hire and fire is that. The same way as you join and leave at the drop of a hat, you are recruited and thrown out at even lesser time than that. Most professionals react to these skills only when disruption hits. When disruption has hit, you react. Layoffs, outdated skill sets. You anticipate and proactively pivot your career. What you should do? You should anticipate and proactively pivot your career so that you become the go-to person in the organization and not sent out person of the organization. These are the irreversible trends in work and careers. And where are they taking you? Where is this taking us? Number 1, from generalist to T-shaped professional. You see, earlier there were two types of people. One was the generalist, who knew everything, but only on the surface. That is what created the term called a general manager in a company. The guy knew something of everything, but nothing meaningful. I have been one, so I know what I'm talking. He knew something on everything. The guy could hold his own against anything, but slightly dig deeper, the guy will collapse. He will throw a fit. And then he will say, you are being insubordinate. Because he doesn't know the depth of it. Then there were those things called super specialists. The doctor who only treats the left nostril of a lady who is 18 years old. That is how much of a specialist he is. If the lady is 19 years old, he can't treat her. She has to be 18, and the problem should be exclusively in the left nostril only. That is the level of specialization. But today it is the time for the T specialist. What is T specialist? One who has breadth as well as depth. You should not only have breadth, you should have depth. And that is where, this template and your checklist comes in. You cannot have both if you are not an expert in three things. Number one, creating a checklist. Number two, converting it into a template. Number three, having visual data analytical skills, that is creating a dashboard. Visual data analysis, the moment you hear this word, you think, oh my God, we are on to Mars. Chalo, Gagayaan, and what is it? Mangalyaan, Mangalyaan. Chandrayaan ke baad Mangalyaan. You go to Mars. It is not, it's simply a bloody dashboard. You should know how to work with these. So from generalist to you go to a T-shaped professional, breadth plus depth is more valuable than breadth alone. Where else is it taking us? From command and control to collaborate and influence. That's why I say, being able to inspire is a very big thing which is required, because the one thing which artificial intelligence or robotics cannot do is collaborate and influence. They can't. Have you ever seen a robot being able to collaborate with another robot, discuss, arrive at a strategy and do things? It can't. Whatever it is programmed, it will do. And you can't do beyond that. So soft skill, empathy, storytelling, they gain premium position in a professional life. How good are you at it? This is the direction where it is taking us. These four trends are telling us that the future belongs to people who are T-shaped professionals, who are not just generalists, but also have that, who can collaborate and influence, not just command and control, and finally, from ladder to portfolio carrier will look more like mosaics, side hustles, consulting, teaching, creating. You are not going to be on a linear ladder anymore. It is going to be a hustle. Means what? Growth comes from positioning yourself on direction of travel, not defending today's comfort zone. You have to be ready to move. That is very, very, very important. Growth comes from positioning yourself on the direction of travel. Unless you are going to position yourself in this direction, from a generalist, become a T-shaped professional, both breadth and depth. Develop collaborative skills. Be able to inspire your people, team members, and then be ready to hustle. Be ready to act as a consultant for your colleagues. Teach them. Create opportunities, not just for yourself, but for others. that is when you will be found relevant. This is what companies will pay for. The third question, what is relevant? Relevant to value, what will organizations pay for? Organizations will pay only those professionals who can anticipate change, spot the upcoming risk and opportunities. Every risk has in it the seeds of an opportunity. Please understand that. If you have the risk of losing a job today because of AI, automation, and all these things, there is an opportunity also because the risk is spread over everybody who is working in that company. If you can take proactive steps, it becomes an opportunity for you. Bridge gaps, connect across silos, functions, and even cultures. Learn to traverse the grid, move across the grid, bridge the gaps. And finally, design future-ready solutions, not just solve today's problems, but shape tomorrow's processes. So you are more confused than you began with, right?
No, it's a
Half of you must be thinking, this bloke studied in English convent school. That is very clear. He knows lots of big words. That is also clear. But it is leaving us none the wiser. So how the hell do we go around doing it? Am I right? Hanumantrao sir? I am not going to leave you in the middle of the river. I am going to take you to the other side
Solution.
also.
Solution. Yeah.
How do you do it? This much is clear. What are the trends? What is the direction which you have to take? What will companies pay for? All these three things are clear. Am I right? Is it clear? Now the question is, you are in a position, be it an entrepreneur or an employee, you are in a particular position. Now, what do you do now? That is important, and that is what now we are going to talk. And that is what the checklist I'm going to give you. Once you use that checklist, you will know what you have to do. Please let me tell you, after the class, sit for 15 minutes and go through it. You can take a screenshot of the checklist. I will post the checklist also to you. Okay? But take a screenshot, immediately go through the checklist after the class so that it will get embedded. Believe me, I can
registered.
tell anyone using it will find opportunities come towards them like a storm. So how to apply it in daily life? Take charge of your future. Forget the present. The present you are all doing very well. Otherwise, you would not be paying and coming and joining this program. Definitely, you are doing well in your life at the present moment. What is required is how do you take charge of your future? Number one, scan trends regularly. Follow industry reports, not for data. Please don't scan industry reports for data. Ask the question, how does this reshape the role I play in my team? You all have a particular role, isn't it? How does it reshape the role that you are currently playing? How is this trend reshaping it? Check that. Definitely, it will be having some impact. Once you scan the publications, the industry reports, don't look for data, which is what most people do. They look for data. Don't look for data. Ask how this reshapes the role I play in my team. Because your job is more important to you than the data. Understand that. If the job is there, everything is there. Like they say in Tamil, செவுரு இருந்தா தான் கிறுக்க முடியும். If the wall is there, you can scratch on it. If there is no wall, what the hell do you scratch on? You can't scratch on anything.
Head,
The-
head,
I said,
head.
you are ruthless. Okay. So Scantons regularly follow industry reports, not for data, but to ask how does this reshape the role I play in my team? Second, prototype your future self. Volunteer to cross-functional projects. Experiment with new tools, AI, data visualization. I said now dashboard creation. Before they are mandatory, before they become mandatory, start learning and experimenting with them because very soon it is going to become mandatory. I'm telling you, it's going to become mandatory. There's no way you can avoid it. The sooner you join some courses and learn about it, the better it is. And volunteer for cross-functional work. Ask your manager to assign you to some cross-functional project, maybe for a few days. Like Nageshwara Kumarji is the owner of a company. Balakrishna sir is an owner of a company. Jayesh is the owner of a company. They can ensure that their people are put in cross-functional things like, a man from the shop floor can work for a week in accounts, a man from accounts can work for a week in marketing. What will happen is there'll be cross-pollination. Plus, there will be enhancement of talent and skill between different people so that if there is a gap, it will not affect you. And if suddenly there is a requirement for more hands on in that particular area, you will have someone ready with you. Third thing is what will happen. This will be a very big motivation for them. When they see that they are learning something, they will stay with you. Attrition will not be there. And today you see, when we see that people are working more for meaning and purpose rather than for money, when you are doing this cross-functional allotment, don't you think you will be generating more meaning? Move away from the thinking that money is what people work for. That is not true. It is true to an extent, but not fully true. Second thing is get people to learn AI. The basics of AI, not just chat GPT. That is not AI, that's bullshit. Get them to really learn fundamentals of AI. How to use, even if you are going to be using chat GPT, get them trained in, there are many courses coming, 21-day challenge, 28-day challenge. Learn about it. The third, shift conversation. Instead of talking about current KPIs only, frame ideas around how this prepares us for what's coming. Don't just talk about key performance indices and point to the management about the relevance of the key performance indexes in the current movement. Talk about what's coming, how this prepares us for what's coming. Leaders notice forward thinking language. If there is an upward swing in sales, instead of pointing out the sales has increased, tell the leader why it has increased, what it is aligned with in terms of the trend which are being currently observed. Are you getting what I'm telling? Huh?
Yes, yes.
You see, from the current situation, try to reorient yourself into the future. Let us say a particular product sales has gone up. What is usually in the meetings, what do? We point out the sales has gone up by 10% or 5% or 15%. Correct or not? Am I right or wrong? What, Mr. Gopal? Huh?
Yes, sir.
But what if you are to tell this 15% sales has gone up because of this particular trend riding the wave now? And if we were to take advantage of it and leverage it, this is where we can go. If you want to convert that narration to this, what will happen?
It is a different, very impressive.
Not only impressive, it will become the seeds of a future strategy for the organization.
Yeah, that will input strategy.
It will be an input, isn't it? And then who will be valued and remembered? The strategy or you?
Person. The
Person
person.
who has given the shared the inputs.
Next time there is a need, they'll say, "Arey, call that Mudmal person, man. He gave a beautiful idea then." That will happen or not?
Sure, sir. It will happen.
This is how you leverage. And then invest in skills ahead of demand. If you wait until everyone is upskilling, you are late. The advantage lies in early adoption. The advantage lies in early adoption. If you can take care of these four, scan trends regularly, not for the data, but to understand how it is reshaping the role you play in your current position. Number two, volunteer for cross-functional projects, experiment with new tools so that you make yourself future ready. You are already ready for the present. That's why you are here. But if you're not going to make yourself ready for the future, you will not be there. That is the unfortunate truth. Then shift the conversation. Don't talk about the current key performance indices. Talk about why they happened and how they prepare you for what's coming. Leaders notice forward thinking language. Remember one thing, the future is shaped by the present. The future does not come just like that. You have to shape it. And your shaping will depend upon the narration that you provide today. And finally, don't wait till it becomes compulsory to skill yourself. Continue upskilling yourself before it is too late, because the advantage lies in early adoption. I will be providing you towards the end in another 10 minutes, I will be providing you with the checklist. Before that, I would like to say that, you see, all strategies require certain hurdles to be overcome. The first of them is the cognitive hurdle, convincing people of the need for change, including yourself. Resource hurdle, achieving more with limited resources. Energizing people to drive change is the motivational hurdle. And finally, managing resistance from both powerful internal and external stakeholders. These are the next 4 classes in our premium strategy group. The next class will be on what is a strategy for overcoming cognitive hurdle, convincing people how to change. That will be followed by resource hurdle. That will be followed by a class on motivational hurdle. That will be followed by a class on political hurdle. Friends, all these are based upon solid research which has been done. None of these things are created by me. Let me make it very clear. I claim no right to any of this. They are all based upon theories on implementation, tremendously researched theories. I will give you the name of all those theories. McKinsey's 7S framework, where they talk about how alignment is required between strategy, structure, system, shared value, style, staff, skills, the 7S. This is followed by Kaplan and Norton's balanced scorecard. I am sure you must all have heard of balanced scorecard, which was developed in 1990 by Kaplan and Norton. Then we have the Kotler's 8-step change, how to create the 8 steps of change so that, the strategy can be driven forward. This is again a major theory in the change management. Rossetti and Charon's execution, the discipline of getting things done. All these have come about only because people found that strategy is easy to create, but very difficult to implement. Each one of them tried to find out how they can do it, and they came up with their own theory, but none of these theories are iron cast or bulletproof. What Kim and Rene did was they went through each of these theories, implemented in over 30 industries, and they took the gist of these theories and created their theory, which I will be talking about as a separate class. Then the modern agile or OKR approach, I'm sure you all have heard about the OKR of, Intel and Google and others. Randy Groove was the person who came up with the OKR approach. Then Hibriniak's model of strategy implementation. This is another very, how to make strategy work. This framework focuses on clarifying objectives, designing the structure, coordinating activities, managing change and culture. You see, all of them are focused on how to make strategy work. Then Galbraith's STAR model. You've got Nander-Tushman congruence model. This is a very, very important model. It is used extensively. It follows the implementation problems, the misfit among the components of strategy, work, people, formal structure of the organization and culture. Then you have got Bryson's strategy change cycle, and you have got Bridges' transition model, the human side of execution, followed by Proceed's ATCAR model, and finally Beer-Nationalver's silent killers framework. All these are the major models of implementation in strategy. I have given this. If you want, you can take a screenshot, go and do your own research, try to read as much of this as possible, and try to understand whatever is possible. But I will be condensing all these and providing you with the deepest insight on how to use the essential parts of these to drive your implementation of strategy. Blue ocean strategy synthesized and reframed ideas from these multiple theories to make strategy creation and implementation inseparable. There are 6 steps that Kim and Rene have advocated. First is the FAIR process, based upon the organizational justice theory. The idea that when people are engaged in decision-making process, they try to do it as well as possible. The second is your tipping point leadership change. This is the Edward Rogers diffusion of innovation, where small influences trigger big change. They try to explain how small innovations can create big change and why we should focus on those small innovations, because it is easier to manage. Then the visual strategy, strategic planning and design thinking route, what I was talking to you about, is they used Michael Porter's competitive strategy framework, strategic planning tool like portfolio matrices, gap analysis, all these in a visual communication design thinking for clarity and alignment through the dashboard. How to use it so that you can drive your strategy. Value innovation, Schumpeter's strategic innovation theory, where prices go down, value goes up. This is one unique innovation of blue ocean strategy. Then you've got execution and change discipline. How to ensure that you can create execution. It is based upon Bossidy and Ram Charan's execution, the discipline of getting things done. And finally, behavioral economics and cognitive framing. Behavioral economics is what my guru got his Nobel Prize for. Can any of you tell me who it is? Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky's prospect theory. That is what brought me to, what do you call it, cognitive science way back in 1978. Since then, I have been an addict of cognitive science, and that is what Blue Ocean Strategy also uses extensively to drive its strategy implementation. Now there are 3 pages of look across time trends checklist. I'm going to put it here, take a snapshot of it, and then you can go through it at your leisure, and I will also post it to you. Please take a snapshot of it. What are the big shapes, the trends shaping my industry, workplace, and profession? Test the trends with BOS filters, irreversible, directional, relevant. Have you taken the snapshot?
Yes, sir.
What the impact on my role? Ask if this trend continues, what will my boss, team, organization expect from me that they don't today? This is a very important question. What part of my job could disappear or be automated? This is another question which you need to answer. What new skill or perspective will become more valuable? How will success be measured differently in the future? Example, routine reporting may disappear, but data storytelling may rise. What is data storytelling? What is the difference between routine reporting and data storytelling?
Visual dashboards and Excel reports.
That is there. But in
How
the
it
connection
came?
to what we discussed, I was
How
telling
it came, sir? How it came?
yes, I was telling you now that don't just talk about KPI. Tell about what it is doing. Reporting, routine reporting is what? Sales has grown by 10%. Data storytelling is what? Sales has grown by 10% because of this particular trend riding the crest now. And this is where it is going to take. And if we have to leverage it, we can do it this way and reach there. This is data storytelling. Okay? Have you taken a screenshot of this?
Yes, sir.
Then we come to this. Capture and reinforce value. How can I ensure that others perceive me as future ready? Document new initiatives, small wins, case studies. Share insights on internal forums, meetings. Teach or mentor peers in the new skill. Reframe my personal brand narrative. I don't just do X, I enable future Y. Example from data analyzed list to insight storyteller preparing leadership for the future. Small wins case studies. Can anyone tell me what are the small wins case studies example? Huh? Tell a small story and then give the outcome of it.
The last minute deal sales in online.
In story was a storytelling, case study. You are absolutely right, Mr. Kumpaswamy. The Bean story which I told now, that is a storytelling in a case study model. So that you bring out the essence of it and the mind of the listener in such a way that it goes and sits. This brings us to the end of the 6th path for creating uncontested market space or creating a totally new life for yourself. Please sit down after this class today for 15 minutes and think over what we have discussed in terms of at least, if not the full thing, the last 4 points. of how it can help your career. I will post this checklist in your WhatsApp. You can use it to work with it. The next class will be on how to ensure that cognitive hurdles are overcome so that you are able to drive your strategy forward. Let me give, can any one of you give me a simple example of what is a cognitive hurdle? Let's say for simple, same thing, this storytelling thing, I will show you how the cognitive hurdle works. Just 2-3 more minutes. The CEO calls a meeting. A new strategy has been created. So CEO calls a meeting of the middle and senior managers and tells them that our sales has been going down for the last 3 quarters. So the management had a brainstorming session, management of the board, and decided that we are going to take a few steps. We are going to be entering into new geographies. We are going to be launching new products. But we are not going to be increasing the number of heads. In fact, we are going to be decreasing the number of heads. So how are we going to do it? We are going to be combining territories and reallocating territories to people. And we are going to drive it forward. This strategy will come into effect from 1st of October. The restructuring will start from 1st of September. At the back of the room, the brochure is kept, which gives the details of it. We are very, very, in the board and the management, we are very, very enthusiastic about it. And I hope you will also be enthusiastic about it. What did you feel about this statement, this speech?
One-way communications.
Okay. What came in your mind by hearing this?
It's a planned one, and
The first
not
thing which must
details.
have come into the mind of the people who are listening is my job okay or not?
Whether I will fit in or not.
Will that come or not?
Fear of losing job.
Fear of losing job immediately will come, isn't it? Now, the moment he said this, do you think the people were listening to anything else after that?
No.
All blocked.
Blocked.
Everything is blocked. He said, first tell me, is my job okay? Then we will discuss everything else. This is called the cognitive hurdle. This is what most people do. At the same time, if the CEO had started like this, he says, friends, I have come to you with a very important strategy, which all of us together will have to try and make it successful. Let me make it very clear that I have invited only those people who are going to be leading this strategy forward. And when the company benefits, I can assure you that each and every individual in this room will benefit. The strategy is like this. Now tell me. The very first thing he did was make it clear to them that none of them are going to lose their job.
Okay.
In fact, they are going to benefit from this strategy. Now everyone will be attentive. See, are you understanding what I'm telling you? You see, cognitive hurdles are created in a very, very, what do you call it, unintentional way by people. By changing the perception totally. We have to learn how to avoid that because this is a cognitive thing. And it's one of the responsibilities of leadership to ensure that they don't create cognitive hurdles. Our next class is going to be focused totally on that, on how to avoid creating cognitive hurdles and how to handle yourself and the narrative in such a way that it is pro-cognition, not anti-cognition. Any questions, friends? Hari, what the time there? It is
No,
10:30.
sir.
Yeah.
10:30, sir.
Okay. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Good
Good
night.
night, sir. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir.